It's still September 2019, and here are a few tips for those people returning to school, university, college, the workplace. Google Docs, and you'll see just a sample on top here of a couple of sentences, and it's word counting in Google Docs. I'm just going to work through these tabs. First of all, if you want to start wondering what words you've got, it is Tools and then Word Count, Control Shift and C, which is fine because it brings up this thing which is pages, words, characters, and characters excluding spaces. New as a couple of weeks ago is a display word count while typing. And this is the thing that, love it or hate it, we've now got 45 words on board the screen, the white screen. And so what you can do down bottom left here is click and it will say one page, 45 words, characters excluding the spaces, and hide the word count. If you hide it, the whole thing disappears. You have to start from the beginning, and then you do word count, display, and done. So if I went down here and I said notice it's 46. If I delete that, it goes back to 45. That's pretty much it. Now, I could stop there, but I'm not going to, because what happened was that we can easily say how many words in the title, and it says 5 words. If I pop up there, it will now say 5 words of 45 or 28 characters, etc. So that's one thing. Now, what happens is that you could move on to something like a couple of add-ons. Now, you'll see that the add-ons, I don't use add-ons a lot, but if I did, then better word count is something, I have done for a while, and I'll bring something up on this. On the right sidebar, and just wait for it to load, it now says 45 words, 218 characters, which should concur, and it does, with official Google Docs. That's that. Now, better word count is something you can find, I hope, or I'll link to it in the Google Docs add-ons, and that is better word count. However, it seems to be missing from the official store. And what I mean by that, if you are new to this, let me just close that, and if I said add-ons, get add-ons, and then inside here what we do is we can go to, I would have thought, to be fair, word count. Let's do that again. Word count, and then what actually brings up is the one that I'm about to show you, which is track my words. But you notice there is no better word count in there. Can't really talk too much about that. I think when I first opened it, it said something about the developer hasn't signed, I don't know, some agreement or something. So the other one is track my words, and it says start tracking my words. You do have to sign into this one with your Google account. And you can see that there is a current words per minute average, which scares the life out of me, because great writing is not because you can put out 50,000 words a day or 1,000 words a day. It's actually, in my opinion, it's like the old cat in the hat thing. Yeah, sure, the fish is talking, but is he saying anything? In other words, just because you write a load of words doesn't mean they're any good, does it? Or if a poet wishes to write something like, I wandered lonely as a cloud, Wordsworth, then it's only a few words. It's not huge, because poetry, of course, is not many words. The point of this is you can stop tracking and pause it, and full stats on track my words, which, if we're working through here, is that there is a website called Track My Words, which is the link, of course. I am logged in. I'm not going to click it, but where it says license, you have to put a license key into Word documents, Google Docs, and then you've got this weirdness of what you've done today and what your peak is, and even there's a rank of how many words, which I find, to be perfectly frank, ridiculous. Because just because people can bang out words, as I said, it's irrelevant whether they're any good, especially when you do this thing where, of course, if you write a university or school assignment, sometimes, well, not sometimes, always, there is a word count. So if the word count was something like 1,000 words, and you go so much as 1,001 word above it, you could actually get penalised quite heavily on your assignment, which, of course, the word counter bottom left, which is always open, is really useful. However, please don't get obsessed about it, especially when you are copying and pasting in. For an example, if I go down to a lovely website, sorry, that's the help thing, but I'll link to it, but look, it's typical Google, said you hardly anything about it, says nothing. This lovely website is called readinglength.com, and if you put something in, like, for an example, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, it will tell you how long, based on your average words per minute, which you can do a test, how long you're going to do with that book. In other words, Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland is more or less about 28,000 words, 144 pages. Of course, that is a copyright-free book, so therefore you can get it on Project Gutenberg and you can start analysing the text. So in other words, if I went into, say, the first little bit of chapter 1 and wondered how Lewis Carroll was writing, then of course I can bring that back, and I could, if I wish to, bring that text into a doc, and then let's get rid of my part about my example text of a flattened ball. Alice was beginning to get very tired, and I'm using this text because that is a standard Microsoft voice training thing, and we can see straight away that we've got 57 words in the first paragraph, and you can analyse quite a lot of that through that. Lovely, lovely. Last thing is, if you want to be interested in creative writing or even know how long it might take you to read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, then 5 hours and 4 minutes, according to the 75,000 words that J.K. Rowling has written. And then if you compare that, to 75,000 to Harry Potter and the book 7, Deathly Hallows, then we actually get down to 187,000 words. That is a pretty big deal, isn't it? So if you're an emerging writer who's starting to work, then by all means start with something which is no more than a couple of words and move on, where we can sort of look at an active word count. I would say that if you are looking on your words, and a good example here is yes, words is one thing, last thing, and that is that characters is quite nice because it's 188 characters. If you were spending all day writing the poetry that is a Twitter tweet at 240 characters, yes, it's got a countdown, but you might want to write them and think, well, actually, I'm going to display my characters on the side of my document, and I know when I hit 240. I would not recommend that doing for a 3,000 word or 4,500 thesis or something at university, because it probably depress the hell out of you, quite honestly. But something, stats and all this business is a thing, isn't it really? So please, good luck with that, with anybody's writing. And that website I will link to you, which is readinglength.com, which I think is really, really nice as a test. And this chap in Boise, Idaho, Bridger Putnam, who made it. Good luck to you, my friend. That's a great little website. And with that said, you've got your WPM speed tests here. Look, easy or elementary, moderate, hard. Really, really useful. Really, really useful. Well done, Bridger Putnam.